Everyone. Thank you for joining me for Where I'm From, number 136 with Diane. Um, how are you today? It's been kind of a chaotic week for me so far. So Diane was very flexible and we changed the time. So thank you, Diane, for being willing to change the time. That really helped me. What have you been reading? I've read Hannah Sward's strip, a memoir, and um, I was trying to say, yes, please join me, Diane. I accept. Um, but sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, I wanted to say sometimes I'm nervous. Hi, Diane. How are
Hi,
you?
how are you?
Good. I just wanted to finish what I was saying about this book I read,
Go.
Strip by Hannah Swart. Sometimes I'm very nervous about books that are about addiction because it's hard for me. I grew up around a lot of addiction. I can't always read these books, but this book, the way it moved and the way she talked about it, I was able to do it, and I've told her. I messaged her and tell her so because I do a lot of that. So how are you? I was also thanking you for your flexibility.
Mhm.
Thank you. It's been quite a week
How's how's
already.
how's your son?
Um, you know, he's fine, everyone. It's not a big illness, but it's just, I don't know. Yes, he's he's okay. But
Good.
it's just like it's just been a busy. I don't know if it's the eclipse, Mercury retrograde, life, capitalism, the patriarchy. I'm not
World.
sure, but they're all coming together.
Mhm.
So, would you like to chat a bit about? I first would like to say I have had, I guess maybe just Anne in your anthology, Awakenings. I was trying to think of who from the
Well,
anthology has joined me on here.
I'm not sure who
There
else.
probably are others, but if you want to share quickly about Longley about your anthology, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
Appreciate it because it was such an amazing experience to put together this anthology. It's called Awakening: Stories of Body and Consciousness, and there are 49 essays, short essays in there, all about different aspects of um, the author's relationships to their bodies. So funny, sad, everything in between. It's a powerful, I think, a real powerful collection that kind of pushes back on the messages I think we've all grown up with and still experience about how our bodies should look, how they should work, who our bodies should love,
Mm-hmm.
all that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think, I mean, I am working on, as many people know, I'm working on co-editing an anthology about sibling loss, and I think it's very, it takes time, the whole process, but it is special to be a part of helping people share their
Oh,
stories. That,
amazing. It's
yeah.
amazing.
So I can imagine 49 stories. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks.
So would you like to read your poem, or is there anything else you'd like to say
I
before
just
you start?
I just want to say thank you for this. This is like I was so excited
I
about
saw that
it.
and I love that. Thank you for your enthusiasm.
Such an amazing. I love hearing everybody. I usually don't get to the chance to do it on Instagram Live, but I have seen quite a few on YouTube, and it's such a powerful exercise, and it's just lovely, and I'm grateful to be part of it. So thank you.
Thank you. I think it's powerful. It's definitely changed my life. And I think I've always believed that, like we all have a story and we deserve to tell it. But it's nice to put thoughts into action.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Where I'm from. I'm from Charlotte's Web and Little Bear, from Horton Hears a Who, from Hershey's Chocolate, Funny Bones, and Twinkies. I'm from a two-bedroom, one-bath, second-floor apartment, a bathroom door that never closed all the way, a kitchen where roaches scurried across counters and cabinets when we turned the lights on. I'm from philodendrons and avocado pits, from all the greens and terracotta planters purchased at Woolworths. lined up on shelves my father built across my bedroom window. I'm from Camp Ramah and Holocaust genes, from family secrets and deep but troubled love. I'm from you can be anything and don't air your dirty laundry. I'm from Queens and Morocco, from Germany and an orphanage in the old city of Jerusalem. I'm from the river and the sea, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm from baked ziti and bagels, from my father who rode horses like the wind, from my mother who rubbed her skin raw to rid her body of freckles. I'm from Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, from Mighty Mouse, from Underdog, from There's No Shame in Being Poor, from doing what's right when faced with what's wrong, from a belief in Tikkun Olam. Thank you.
Thank you. Um, so so much of it I resonates. Little Bear. I love
The
Little Bear.
bear, oh my goodness, bear. Right.
He just like kind of gets me right in the heart. Even now when I read Little Bear, I think his just unadulterated joy and just kind of, I don't know, he was so innocent. And I
Yeah.
think that really like spoke to me. I wanted some of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and and obviously all the foods and other books and things and all of your you were able to talk about many generations of where you're from. Uh, and
Actually, those were just my parents.
really,
Yeah, yeah,
wow,
yeah,
those are
yeah. Well,
stories.
my mom's not so my dad was born in Germany. My mom was actually born in Jerusalem, but her family was from Morocco and they had to leave. Um, and she's the one who was in an orphanage, my
Wow.
mom. Yeah.
I just assumed that was older because,
No,
wow.
wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so maybe
You're
it was.
you're not old. So, and the white and the freckles, that was her?
That was her. That was her.
Oh,
And so my mom had freckles on her body, and she used to talk about in the orphanage,
mm.
she, they made her feel different. So she used to try and wash them off and scrub and scrub and scrub. Yeah.
It also made me think of your anthology,
Yeah.
that her
Yeah.
body and
Yeah.
her wanting to being taught early to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
it's funny how these stories, many times that we continue to tell, have
Oh,
roots really early.
yes, it's so interesting because I find, and I think a lot of other writers share this, that there are like two, maybe three things that just keep reappearing.
Mhm.
Like you'll sit down to write something else and they'll say hi. And
Yeah.
you have to say, welcome. Who are you today? How do you want to show up today? But yeah.
Yeah, the Japanese filmmaker Ozu, he used to say you just make one movie over and over again until you get it
Mhm.
perfect. I mean, I'm butchering it, but that's the basic idea. And um, that I think there's some resonance in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so what was your experience like writing the poem?
You know, when I first saw the template,
Mhm.
I kind of thought of Mad Libs in some
For
ways.
sure.
Yeah.
I think that's why part of what's fun about it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I thought it was going to be fun, and then it just but I thought it was going to be like what I would write would be like dumb, like put this, put that, like how is that going to amount to anything? And it just was it felt really empowering.
Oh, good.
It's really empowering and healing in some ways, and a way to use my voice that I really haven't.
Oh,
So very exciting. Thank you.
that's
Thank you.
so exciting.
Yeah.
I also think it's a great I think just what you said about the prompt is a great thing that we could just transpose to writing in general, right?
Mm,
Like we think what we're going to say is dumb. We think it's not going to amount to anything, but it does. We continue to show up and it does. Um, and it's I after doing this prompt so many times, I'm like, is there one for a book? Because I would just like to
I think
fill out.
if I thought about doing a book, oh my God, I think,
I actually, interestingly enough, my manuscript is my poem, and then I annotate it essentially in my whole memoir. So I did do it. Because someone suggested I do that, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good and hard, but I will try. Um, so
yeah.
I did. Um,
But even just an anthology of all, yeah,
yeah,
I mean, you've done many already. I think that would be
I
fascinating.
just keep collecting them and seeing where it leads. You
Mhm.
know, it's like even just doing this brings me joy. Like, I don't know if you see I'm tearing up, but it like just being here with you brings me joy and hearing your story, you know? So
No, I, I'm very joyful right now. I don't know if you can, I'm all smiles.
it's great.
Just
Um, Go ahead.
wonder.
What were you going to say?
I said, it's just bringing me so much joy. It's so wonderful. It's so, you're so wonderful. This is so wonderful. It's love fest. It's joy fest. I love it. Yeah.
So did you go through many drafts, or was this the one you wrote? Like, did you struggle at all, or?
This is not the one I sat down. This was
Mhm.
not my ad libs. But I was surprised it wasn't many drafts. It was like, yeah, this is going to be there, and this is going to be there, and this is how it has to show up, and this, it just was sort of this thing that just kind of moved through me, which was really, again, exciting. I mean, I wish I could think of other words,
That's
but
okay. You don't have to think of other
yeah,
words. I think it can be kind of magical, especially
good
I
one.
think because poetry, thank you. Um, I think especially because poetry, sometimes we feel like I do that it's like, oh, I'm not a poet. I'm not good enough for that or whatever, you know, and there's something liberating
Yeah.
about,
Well,
oh, I just wrote a poem.
here's the secret. I recently started writing poems, like focusing on writing poems, and um, it's been quite a journey, but I'm loving it. And this was such a great experience to, like it, just to have this kind of form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It's nice to have a container.
structure, it frees you,
Mm-hmm.
and I really felt that with this. Yeah.
Oh, good. So you knew you could break the rules, that the rules are only there
Yeah.
to get you started.
Yeah. I broke some of them, but not too many because I'm such a good girl.
I know I have people ask, is it okay?
Yeah.
Of course it's okay. I don't care. I just use it as a way to,
To get you
yeah,
started.
as a way in. And I think I was just having a conversation with a friend yesterday about my manuscript, and she was saying she felt like it's my opportunity to say where I'm from, like kind of reclaim where I'm from and what I experienced, and that hit me. And do you feel like that a little bit writing this poem, like the opportunity to talk about where you're
Where I'm from.
from?
I never, I see, I mostly write CNF, so I think everything I write is pretty
Mm-hmm.
much about where I'm from, but not so directly.
Mm-hmm.
This was like, tell me where you're from.
And give me details.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And without a lot of extra stuff in there,
Mm-hmm. Right.
Um, so this was new for me. It really was.
And were you
New and
surprised at all by what you knew had to be in there? Like, did you surprise yourself, or was it kind of what you might have expected you would write about?
I wasn't really coming in with expectations. Oh, I have to put this in. I kind of wanted to just see what happened. I'm not surprised at most of the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that I put in. Um, Big ziti, that was my
Big
mother's go.
CD shows up. You are
Yeah,
not the first person to write
really.
about Big CD. Yes, it's interesting to me certain things that black and white cookies, Big CD. Um, there are certain ones that it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, that again. But you're the first little bear. for sure.
Yeah. I maybe the first one who paired it with bagels. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't feel like I think I mean this might it was a bit surprising to me. I don't feel like I've heard a lot about
Oh,
bagels, which kind of surprises
yeah.
me. Um, it's I maybe it's not.
They're a
I
staple.
don't know. They are. They are. Yeah.
They're a must eat.
Yeah.
Uh, that's the weird because I'm from New York, you know.
Hmm. I've had quite a few people from New York.
Yeah.
I think,
Uh,
quite a few writers.
but I live in Florida now, and you
Mhm.
can't get a good bagel
Yeah.
here. It's one of the downside. One of the, but I was surprised at how easily it kind of flowed, you know, and how it kind of. This was surprising too, and so wonderful. It just like the way it's set up, the form, it just builds momentum. And it's like,
Hmm.
and this, and this, and this, and this. And it kind of, it just has a life and an energy of its own because I believe of the
Hmm.
form. And you tripped up. And even if you go this way, it's not really a diversion. It's part of that. Yeah.
I agree. We can thank Georgella for writing the original poem because
Yeah.
she has shown me all of her drafts.
Oh,
And
wow.
there are many, many, many.
Wow.
Yeah, she shows them to school children to teach them that, the first draft isn't the end, to like continue to write.
Mm-hmm,
Uh,
mm-hmm.
and I think that would have been really powerful for me as a young person to see someone I admired show up and show me all their papers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do think she created a really masterful poem. And then the man who made the prompts, Fred first, he got in there. Like he really got to the source of it. But I'm very grateful they came into my life, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
What? It's great.
So any other thoughts before we
Uh,
wrap up, Diane?
just thank you again. This was such a great pleasure and honor, and thank you for everybody who's showed up, and
Yes.
everybody who might watch this on YouTube. And
Yes.
uh, thank you.
Thank you,
It was
Diane. And thank you again for your flexibility. It meant a lot to me. Okay.
wonderful.
Have a lovely day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.